bans being taken away, so maybe some of those picks slipping through here.
Mazel, no! They did this versus LNG! They did this versus LNG. They first picked Tatsuzwani B1 and it did not go well for them. It just shows me that there is no champion that they're prioritizing for one of their carries, like either Rookie, Photic, or Shanji. They're just locking in straight up Tatsuzwani for facilitation. But now you need to have answers on the tops of the map you could potentially play to shut down that Renekton. I'd love to see something aggressive coming in from NIP to try and take control over from laning phase.
Still see them cooking. They got the chef's hat still on, all right. The brand is a big pick, though, for Croco. Very dominant. But there we go. That's what I was talking about. A little bit of that side lane and a little bit of that team fight impact here with the Kennen locked in for Shanji. It will also be the Corki for Rookie, immediately answered to by the Zeri of Anyone's Legend on red side.
Ooh, and I wonder right here if we're going to get potentially a Yone ban for Shanks in the mid lane. Yone very strong versus Corki later on. Also pretty strong on a side lane. Since you're playing Kennen, it might be a little bit difficult to have that electric rat on a side lane when there is the threat of a Yone from the mid. So far so good. AL are creating so much space for their AD carry on the Zeri to play, especially with the Brand and the Renekton.
I really like their trio right now. I think there's still some changes to be made for NIP to really make this composition be tied up like a nice little bow. We'll see if they can. Now that Nautilus ban does take away a lot of that extra engage from Anyone's Legend, but there is still a lot of tools on the table like the Rel. We'll see what the final ban is here for Anyone's Legend.
I'm expecting to see NIP, if it doesn't get banned out, to go towards something like the Rel, because it matches really well with the AoE that the Kennen has. Especially now that Leona and Nautilus are completely out of the picture. And Nautilus being banned right here to me, it tells me that Photic potentially looking towards something like maybe an Ezreal or a Kai'Sa to play towards that bot side of the map. Something maybe, perhaps a little bit more aggressive that wants to play towards that early game into the Zeri. Oh, they banned the Rel themselves.
Take away a little bit more of that engage potential. So now you got to wonder what the combo is going to be here for Anyone's Legend.
It's Zeri mid. We've seen it before. It's Zeri mid. All right.
We are cooking. I love to see it. A little bit of flexibility in Anyone's Legend. We talked about what Tabe brings to the draft, but their drafting style as a whole. It was NIP who I really wanted to see flex their muscles in the draft, but it's Anyone's Legend who have brought their own cooking style.
I'm pretty sure we've seen Zeri mid. I just cannot. I'm trying to dig in my brain and I cannot find it. There's the Ezreal we're talking about. Ezreal Braum, extremely dominant in the bot lane. You've got a lot of poke, but also a lot of all-in potential, especially the 2v2, because we are seeing a lot of melee supports, which Braum loves playing against. And if you shut down that Misfortune early on, it's gonna give you a lot of free access into the river to try and start stacking those neutral objectives. My god, AL's draft looks scary as heck.
It truly does. They're going to lock in the Rakan, a classic for Kael, but also just that extra peel ability for the double marksman comp. Now, the only problem is they don't have much of a front line. There is really, really good team fight setup for NIP on the other side.
Yeah, you've got the Sejuani, which is pretty much your only go forward button. It's going to be set up done by Aki on this champion. However, for Shanji, I feel like he's going to have to find his own flanks to try and get into this team fight. I do like what NIP have got going on, and if they can leverage the fact that they've got poke towards the top side of the map and they do have ways of engaging towards the bot side, and if Aki finds some ability to shut down the Renekton or get kills onto the Misfortune and shut that down early on, it could go well for NIP. However, when I'm looking at the compositions overall, I am loving the all-in and peel that is coming out of AL.
It's got a little bit of flair to it, and it's also got a little bit of that execution difference where if you can get an advantage, their composition is so ridiculously strong. And you have to remember, we talked about it so long ago, this is a matchup that Anyone's Legend feels very confident in. They already are 2-0 against NIP in this split, as they were a group member in Group D with them. And it was a 2-0 into a 2-1. NIP want to get a bit of revenge. This is a single round robin. Damage is lasting. If NIP can strike fast, strike hard, they'll be able to make it hurt against Anyone's Legend, who are already 2-0 to start this stage off. NIP versus Anyone's Legend. Game 1 kicking off now. Anyone's Legend fans represent in Shenzhen, a home arena of NIP. Love to hear both crowds getting a little bit hyped now as well. As we get to it, I want to see... Oh, we got a little bit of spice. That's an early flash from Shanks. Also, we're still cooking here because Aki has been unseen in the topside jungle this entire time.
However, he does have no support for his team. So he's just gonna try to spy where Croco starts. Croco most likely starts at Birds anyway because he's playing Brand. And Aki might look.
Bum, bum.
he's already popping up the sticker. He's ready.
I want to see it. The Poro's waiting like an aggressive predator in the bush. I've never seen a predator that big and cute and fluffy, but it's terrifying. Okay, he knows that he wants to start these. He's going to sneak around. Oh my god, he doesn't know he's there. Oh my god, he's so big. How can you not feel the breath on your neck right now, Croco? There's a giant Poro in there. He's going to take it away from him as well and steal all the little chicky nuggies. Oh my goodness. It looks like I might have lost Trouble. But nonetheless, a very strong early start there for Aki. And a very positive presence with some vertical jungling now for NIP.
All right, I'm going to try to guess what happened here. As I'm seeing Aki on 8 CS, I'm going to guess that he did get that, that flank onto Croco. I did DC for a while, so I didn't get to see the action live. However, everything that's gone on so far has given Rookie the tools he needs to be dominant in the mid lane. And we said how important it is for Rookie to get ahead for NIP. He is the biggest moving gear for the team. He is the oil to the machine. And no flash onto Shanks. Croco being pushed out of his jungle gives Rookie a lot of pressure on that mid lane.
All right, let's take a look back at the jungle setup, though. Croco realizes there might be something going on as they had vision on the transition of Aki, where Aki didn't want to go for the vertical jungling. He immediately cut across the mid lane with the priority of Rookie, and now he'll stop any advances from Croco, who has repathed up towards top to try to clear these Krugs and finish off this side.
That is so great stuff, especially when you're playing Sejuani or any facilitating jungler into a farming jungler. Every time you show up on the wave or every time you're not clearing jungle, you will fall behind. Croco now is trying to find ways to potentially sneak into that top side of Aki, but knowing that Aki is going to be sprinting through mid lane with the priority that you mentioned also, Mazel, it's extremely dangerous for Croco to do that, especially since his HP bar is not the healthiest. They might meet in the river, but I feel like Rookie has the first dip.
Croco's like, Aki, chill, bro. You're all over me. Like, he's literally taking the top side. He denies the vertical jungle. He comes back across the lane to get the scuttle crab. This man is trying to just body block Croco for being relevant in this game.
Take that Poro away from me, bro. I'm allergic. All right, back to business here. As you can see, Croco is still trying to sneak in. And Aki, oh my god, Aki's got his number. Aki knows exactly what's happening on the map. He was waiting in the brush, waiting to figure out whether Croco's gonna come back, because Croco's camp just about spawned, and Aki had the timer, because unfortunately for Croco, Aki was the one that ended up taking that camp, so he knew exactly when it was gonna be respawning. Excellent stuff coming out of the NIP jungler, who again has had a pretty rough start of the split.
Pretty strong now on the Sejuani. Looking at top side now. Maybe he had a dive potentially onto Ala. We did complete his back, and we'll get the TP off. So just a little bit of presence up towards top side. But
he's pinging the creeps in the jungle. He wants more.
But the thing is, they can do this because they have such heavy priority in top and mid. And coming into this series, I said I wanted to see some more growth and strength from their solo lanes here, and they're doing exactly that.
Absolutely. NIP are looking pretty crisp in the early game. Shanks gonna dash forward, take a little bit of hurt. There's a huge wave crashing underneath his tower, so he needs to pull back to make sure he hits all that CS, which gives Rookie not only the early level 6, but he gives him the early back as well onto this lane. First one to reset, first one to get out. Croco! A round of applause.
He's catching up.
A round of applause. He does get the scuttle crowd on that both side of the map.
He's caught up. Look at that. Brand things. Brand clears so ridiculously fast, and it just means that all that early game shenanigans against him didn't lead to that too much more, I guess. But we'll see if that does end up meaning anything. We do have objectives on the map. Brand typically wanted to go for the grubs on the first spawn, but we do have them at least getting a back for Croco. And presence from Aki on the bot side. We'll get the slicing Maelstrom combo at the top.
A little bit of a trade-off ultimates right there for the two top laners. Shanji gets to clear the wave, poke down Ale. Both of the top laners are going to reset. I want all eyes on mid lane for right now, because that reset, that early reset, as Shanji is going to cancel another one from Ale. The early reset from Rookie has given him double priority on both of these waves that just went down mid lane right now, which means he's going to push in that wave, knowing that Aki is starting the dragon. He's going to be first in the river. He's not hovering it yet. Now he's going to start moving, knowing that Croco's around.
They have the 2v2 from bot side, though, first. Aki needing to move up or down, trying to figure out which one he wants to go for. Does end up going over the wall to safety. Anyone's Legend put some pressure onto the map and return with a dragon.
I'm not gonna lie, I expected Rookie to move a little bit faster right there, especially since he had already pushed his wave. He was hovering around mid lane a little bit too much, and Aki, I think it was a pretty good idea to try and sneak in that dragon, having that mid lane control. However, Hope and Kael get there first, which means they had the numbers advantage, and it's going to be a dragon for AL. And this is exactly how AL finds their advantages on the map, right? You start a play and you're expecting that one side of the map is going to collapse, but AL have so many avenues, whether it's mid, bot, top, that will have priority somewhere and push. And for them, it is going to be that bot lane with the Misfortune and Rakan.
Move towards mid lane. Shanks gonna hit the lightning crash, gets the concussive blows onto him, but they can't follow up after he burns his flash in the end.
There we go, another flash burn for Shanks. I feel like NIP have been burning that flash on cooldown. Whenever it reappears, they end up taking it down, and it's actually very scary for Zeri to overextend to this mid lane. Ooh!
So close. Good reaction time from Shanks, though.
A little bit of help by Kael onto that mid lane. Try and burn down that wave as fast as possible so that Shanks can go back and reset. However, Rookie is going to stay for one more wave. He knows there is no teleport onto Shanks. He's going to hide behind that wall. He sees that Shanks is not appearing, so he's going to push yet another one. Rookie with a great strat right here, trying to take as much control of the mid lane as possible, making Shanks lose some XP and gold.
Croco taking time to take advantage of the vacuum Aki is left after taking the grubs there. Shanji gonna burn that wave. Croco's tanking, can't take too much more, and Ala will easily clean that one up.
Very nice utilization of the Renekton ultimate right there. Shanji tries to burn the wave, but it's not good enough. There's a lot of damage coming in from Croco. Ale is pretty beefy with the ultimate usage to try and tank the tower. Very great dive from AL, and again, they will always be able to find avenues to punish you on the map. Not only do they take the dragon away, but then they transition Croco to the top side of the map and take a kill onto the Renekton. Very important, because you want your Renekton to be a bully early game. So dumping kills onto that Crocodile is the best thing you can do.
It's really, really good for them. And he didn't have TP to come back, so he loses the wave and also that turret played in the end. I do want to talk a little bit about the entrances possible for both these two teams, though, because it does feel like NIP have the much stronger, kind of consistent, at least, team fighting aspects once we get a couple items in them, where there's a lot more damage on the side of anyone's Legend, but a little bit of a double-edged sword.
So here's how I feel about Misfortune and Zeri. I feel like they both need space created for them and time in the team fight for them to shine, right? Like the big wombo combo for Misfortune. Zeri needs a big front line to start putting down those auto attacks without being threatened. And the thing with AL is that they have very self-sufficient champions that want to flank. So Ale on the Crocodile is looking for a flank. AL is probably looking for a flank on the Rakan. Talking about a flank, Croco's topside.
Gonna have to burn the flash. That was going to be revisited, no doubt. I mean, that flash off the cannon is actually really huge. They do catch Croco out, though. Really huge amount of damage by Aki. That convergence does work. Here comes Zhuo to follow up. Won't hit the Winter's Bite on the back end.
This is not quite enough damage. Another one. Not going to be enough. Photic, 0 out of 2 so far. He's tried to snipe 2 members of AL. Hasn't quite been successful yet to find those. But yeah, I feel like for AL, there's a lot of members that want to go in and want to fight, and they want to find flanks. That the only thing I'm worried about is a lot of the other carries being left behind while members of AL are looking for a flank. Shanji has to burn his ult here.
Croco's like waiting over here. He's like, do I need to come over there and get the kill? Or what are we doing here? As the fight continues, Aki will show, so that means Croco will walk over as well. We're brewing for a 2v2. No ults available on either side.
30 seconds though for the void grabs, and the bot lane of AL has already turned. I'm saying the bot lane, I'm looking at Zera and I'm like, oh, that's a bot lane. And never mind. The support from AL has already transitioned towards the tops of the map. You know what? This is getting very confusing, you know? Like, what other AD carry are we going to be able to put over in the mid lane? We've tried Ezreal, we had Kai'Sa, we've got Zeri.
I'm here for it. I'm
Ash
absolutely
mid?
here for it. Sure, why not? Get all that engage out there. I also see now with these grubs starting up a very, very heavy presence from anyone's legend. Try to deny Grubageddon here. You do not really want to give this composition that advantage because their siege will be just ridiculous. It turns out, though, there is just going to be a start of the grubs with no contest by NIP. I was wondering if they were actually going to walk over this way.
They're trying to walk up, but Rookie had to defend his wave. He has to TP back in right now. He has Trinity Force.
All right, they're going to try to get it. There is everything used on Allah as well. They can't get the combo, and the slice and dice is there. That Pyroclasm was doing work, too. Rookie over the wall. He can't get the damage down. He's just going to flash for it. Concussive blows, hits. Rookie trying to do his best, but he can't get into the fight. Another concussive goes off, but look at Allah. Clean one back up. He will be permafrosted, and Allah goes down to Rookie in the end as well. We are getting hecking fights from both these two teams early.
NIP was so late to the party, but they're still looking at the Rakan. Rookie's trying to cancel. Not quite close enough. Rookie's going to lose a lot of HP to the tower as well. NIP, they might not get out with grubs, but they get out with kills, and that's what matters. 4,000 gold now up on Rookie, but Shanks punishing the mid lane tower, taking more tower platings for himself. And when we go back to that replay, I want everyone to pay attention to all 3 lanes for AL. Every single one of them pushed in before that play starts, meant that Rookie had to stay in lane, used all of his HP and mana, tried to push out that wave, which means he was late to the play. Sure, he shows up with a Trinity Force on that one, and they managed to grab 2 kills off the back of that. But AL not only did they trade a kill right here onto the cannon, they also come out with the Void Grubs.
Allah with the Chad play to get something back. Now we look back in picture-in-picture, and it will be a dragon secured by anyone's legend. Now Aki, Arctic assaulting his way to safety at least. Shanks and, yeah, anyone's legend could chase this one down easy. They got Photic over here. The bullet time going to be blocked by the Unbreakable. Now Photic, he had already arcane shifted. He's going to have to burn his flash.
Hold on a minute. Hold on. Okay, let's calculate everything that's happened from the beginning. So Aki dives into the pit, tries to steal the dragon, it's not happening. Then dives out, Zhuo tries to save him, but everyone from AL engages onto the support because then he's isolated. And then Photic arcane shifts forward through the red buff while his support is trying to evade an assault from AL. That is actually madness happening on the Rift. NIP again are losing a little bit of the rhythm.
Rookie, he's going down. Oh, the stability of NIP just being crumbled.
Ooh.
Hey, he got it. Third time's the charm. Photic snipes him down.
Perfect. True. 3rd time's the charm for Photic. Managed to grab one with the arcane shift. However, I was about to say, NIP seems to be crumbling under pressure. And the mid laner crumbled as well on the bot side of the map. Whilst NIP are trying to get anything done on the map while they're going for kills, as you can see, AL have cheaped over those tower platings. Bot lane and mid lane. Their carries are actually doing pretty well. 700 gold onto this misfortune. Let's watch this again. Rookie, a little bit too far forward. His wave is nowhere near that tower, and he's just gonna get dived on.
Yeah, dodges out of a couple of Croco's abilities there, but
Not even
really
close.
Good snipe. Saw him as he exited the vision there, knew he was walking back towards the turret.
And IP, they just need to find their footing again in this game, because if they feel like they're one step behind every single time AL presses the trigger, and that's also to commend AL for this is what they have been doing this entire split. They have been ahead of the tempo this entire time in a game that they shouldn't be, realistically. Shanks playing with his flash down pretty much the entire time. Croco completely messing up his first clear and his second clear as well. Aki made sure of this, and they have bounced back and they have found opportunities and kills onto the map. Now the Rift Herald has been started from NIP, but AL are not going to go down that easy.
Rookie was pushing in the top side. Looks like Rift Herald will just be secured in the end for NIP. Turret did get taken in the side lane by Shanks, so he'll be able to get first turret for anyone's legend. So they continue to have their advantage and maybe even grow it a little bit.
Yeah, Shanks did not have teleport to join this fight, and AL did not want to take a turn 4 versus 5, especially when they are about 2,000 gold in the lead right now. You definitely do not want to be throwing your gold away. You've got 2 bounties as well onto this area and on the Misfortune. Got to be extremely careful to give these ones over. 2,000 gold is not much of a difference. It does count right now, especially when you're going to have second item completed and NIP was scrambling about, having 1.5. This is the perfect timing for AL to pull the trigger and sort of solidify the game. Kael and Shanks taking full control of the top side. I keep feeling like these guys are the bot lane, but they're not.
And I feel like that's the important thing right now is I do kind of want anyone's legend in this comp style to be ahead going into fights, and I feel like if you're NIP and you're sitting just a little bit back behind them and you're still able to get to those 3 item spikes, you're going to be very comfortable in a lot of these fights, because the execution will be on the side of anyone's legend more so, not to get caught by all these big team fight combinations that could be pulled off by
Hope almost just took an entire tower.
He did it!
Not almost, he took an entire tower. In Photic's face.
Misfortune versus Ezreal. Can't do much. At least now, at least early. You'll see. We'll see later. It is the League of Trinity Force right now for NIP. But I guess next looks are with this Rift Herald if they want to try to crack down this mid turret. They are moving down towards this bot lane though. Oh, I think I might have lost Trouble again. Unfortunate. But we will be getting her back as soon as possible. As we do, though, Dragon is up in about 30 seconds. I was hoping that NIP was going to be able to move this Rift Herald around as a bit of a distraction yet again, like we see at least tragically the last couple times. It actually is AL who have a perfect position around this, though. They have so much vision control on this side of the map. It's so difficult. They're going to get the damage down. Croco with the bullet time over top. That was a lot committed onto Zhuo just to take him out, but it's going to follow up with more, and the dominoes are starting to fall apart here for NIP. They're getting locked out with a flank from Allah. Here comes the slicing maelstrom. Everybody's going to flash out of that one. Shanji does decent work, but Allah cleans up that big old poro, and Shanji will just be dug into the dirt by Hope.
NIP are being pulled apart by AL. If the first series between the two and the 2-1, AL, you bet they want to be cleaning this up 2-0. They're already 2-0 up in their group. And NIP are honestly scrambling. They don't know how they want to play the fights. They don't understand how they want to play their flanks. Are they playing front to back? Are they looking for Shanji to get a flank? It feels like they're always sort of reading it after the play has already happened, and AL are more than happy to just commit bodies forward.
Just a second behind. That was the Croco able to secure the soul point. But yeah, it's been such close starts to fights, but then you just start seeing anyone's legend collapsing so well with the combos they have.
Every single time AL see one member overextending from NIP, they know they can just take them down. They've got the early game spike, the brand, the misfortune, the renekton. They've got everything they need to sort of keep on snowballing what is happening in these team fights. And that's exactly what they're doing. I feel like by the time NIP have figured out whether they want to TP, whether they want to flank, whether they want to use the cannon, the play has already happened. And unfortunately, every single one of their members right now is at a goal deficit.
I will say if you ever want to pick me up, Shanji, go rewatch that clip, because you literally yes, there were some aggressive flashes, but literally all 5 flashes from anyone's legend are all gone at the same time.
At the same time.
And it's actually hilarious to me how impactful Shanji can still be on the Kennen, even if they are going to be monstrously behind now, about 4,000 gold down.
Not gonna lie to you, the NIP flashes are also at the same time, but these were to evade the flashes that were pressed at the same time from AL. So, hey, at least they were trying to run away at the same time, which is some coordination right there for NIP. Again,
There
they
you
do
go.
have...
Glass half full.
Yeah, exactly. See only the positives. For NIP, there is a bunch of scaling, of course, in the team, right? With the Kennen, we have seen what Selectric Rack can do, especially when you find a really good flank. And Shanji has found those in the past. You've got Ezreal plus Corki, who also scale incredibly well. They just need to make sure that they do not get caught one by one, which AL have been so good at punishing over and over again the entire game.
NIP very, very reserved in that Rift Herald play, realizing they don't want to get caught by asserting anyone's legend. They had just gotten second item for Rookie. They're working on a third for him. Again, third items are where they really turn on. They now have completed their tier items. They'll just be waiting to stack those up here. As I say that, Rookie has completed his. But they are losing pressure on the map, but it's about holding on and not losing too fast.
But here's the problem, right? AL are so good at staying firm in the lead. Every single time they have a lead, they pressure it.
Yep.
And you see right here, a wave pushed means a tower. A tower gone means extra deep vision into enemy territory. Extra vision to enemy territory means if anyone from NIP walks up, AL are ready to pounce onto them. They do not give you an inch. They'll take your game away. So having 2 champions that want to be scaling with 2 mana moons, they're just not going to give you the chance to get there and get to your third item. And even if you do, you're going to be so far behind that AL will be on their 4th item already. So for NIP, they need to make a move real quickly if they want to get back into this game.
I'm trying to make moves up towards this top side for a little bit of vision. There's no real extra bodies for anyone's legend to commit to. NIP are going to start grouping from here on out. I expect a lot more. TPs are available, at least for Shanji and Rookie on their side, Shanks on the other side. So right now, NIP have the pace of play in that regard if they want to try to find a flanking play for Shanji. But there's no objectives for a little while, so that play is going to be in the back pocket.
AL are taking full control right here. The only neutral objective on the map right now is going to be this Baron. And AL wants to make sure that the entire top quadrant of Aki's jungle is lit up in red wards. Making sure they have full vision right there. Pressure in that mid lane. Somebody's going to be sent top as well. He's going to be most likely Ale heading towards there as well. And I feel like AL plays so well through pushed lanes. They push a lane, they force an IP to respawn, and while an IP is responding, they take something on the other side of the map. They have been phenomenal at controlling the map through pure pushed lanes.
That's been one of the major strengths, and again, goes back to kind of their drafting strategies as well. It just really helps to be able to find those priority lanes in some regard. Now, it all comes down to the Dragon setup, about 30 seconds out here, Trouble.
NIP is trying to find their way in. They need to get some wards behind enemy lines for Shanji, but this is going to be almost impossible because AL are literally guarding every entrance with their bodies. Ale has also sneaked in. He might actually find Shanji before Shanji finds any flank.
Oh, he got spotted out.
Spotted.
Oh, man, I love it. It's like mind games, like playing chess. So is he gonna see? Is he gonna see me? Oh. Improved blast cone there, Ala. Gotta be a little careful. Goes a little bit extra far. Now they're resetting for a 5-on-5 fight.
Ooh, Shanji, very importantly, has the flash available, so if he finds a really good ultimate, it could change the course of this fight. The Baron, the Dragon Story is gonna be started. Ale and Shanji both looking for a flank.
Look for the combos. Hope needs to find a big bullet time. Ala needs to find the backline. Shanji with the slicing maelstrom makes the difference. Quickness in. Dragon down. It goes the way of Aki, denying the soul. Now NIP have Ala to deal with. That's a big croc, baby. And the slicing maelstrom is too little, too late. Hope is going to flash forward aggressively. And now moving on to Photic. They try to chase him down. The double carries of anyone's legend. The Team WE bros trying to move it, but they will not find the kill. They will transition this power over to the Baron, though.
NIP was winning this fight until they were losing the damage. The pure damage numbers coming in from Hope were insane. I felt like actually NIP were winning this fight, and they actually were not. The second Hope started hitting on that Misfortune. Rookie now, he's still alive. He's around. There is no Truce Barrage for Photic's Ezreal to try and sneak in a steal. Rookie's trying.
Turning. He's not going to make it in the pit fast enough. They didn't realize that they were burning it down until it was a little bit too late. And trying to move bodies over there quickly. But it is a denial of the soul, which NIP got what they came for in that moment. Yes, they definitely stayed for the fight, but they want scale. They want to deny anyone's Legends win conditions, which are these stacking objectives.
They have done that so far. However, now with the Baron, AL will take full control of the map. You see that Renekton in the bot lane, 4, 1, and 2, heading towards that GA as well. It's going to be unbeatable. Let's watch this fight once more, because both Al and Shanji were looking for flanks respectively. And once the Rakan goes down here, this is great news for NIP to push forward. However, the second Hope gets into this fight, the fight is over. The damage was so incredibly high. I'm not sure it was even Hope. It might have just been Croco's passive popping right there. That was some insane damage from the side of AL. NIP groups forward, they all die.
It's really hard to deal with the damage potential of anyone's Legend. That's why you're trying to hold on until when items actually start coming online. Third item did get completed for Rookie. He has that rapid fire cannon now, able to defend a little bit more against the damage of anyone's Legend. But they have so much control. They have such a big lead. And this team, this split, has been so ridiculously dominant from ahead.
I feel like they're just very oppressive in terms of the map. They'll take one creep more than you. They'll translate it into vision, which will translate into a kill, which will translate then in turn into an objective. They're so absolutely incredible at just translating small victories into meaningful ones on the Rift. And this is why they're choking out NIP right now. NIP, not only are they scrambling to find some vision onto the map, but they're also scrambling to figure out how they want to play this team fight versus AL, because AL has 4 forces to be reckoned with. Even if you kill one, there's 3 more damage dealers to deal with.
Also got to check in on that side lane. Feels like Allah's going to have some strength there. There is the Glacial Prison. Bullet time on top of everybody there. Ends up getting a little bit of the pull back from NIP. So the siege continues onto the tier 2 down here.
I love the fact that Hope actually uses his ultimate right there to fend off NIP, so they can use the fact that this cannon minion that's powered up is going to slowly but surely demolish that last tower down that bot lane. The only one remaining for NIP2, sorry, is going to be the top lane and mid lane tier 2, and that's exactly what Shanks is doing. He's already pressuring that mid. Bot lane is going to reset. They're going to grab more items, head down that mid lane. There is still Baron buff for another 20 seconds. They're going to use this as a last push and reset.
And I love that Hope has had the consistent split that he's had. I think he, a lot of times, goes under the radar for a lot of people. I think big fans of Hope will remember him from his time on EDG. Maybe newer fans of Hope will remember him from his time on JDG and that dominant year that he spent on that team. But then you fall off to obscurity a little bit with Team WE, where they weren't successful at first. They were able to find success at the beginning of last split, but it really has been a journey of Hope trying to re-find himself after some of the highest highs you can know in this league. I think it's been really cool to see how consistent this guy has been for anyone's Legend.
Absolutely, and the environment means a lot. Talking about the environment seems a little bit hostile behind NIP because Ali's there.
There's a croc there. You got to be careful. Somebody got to call the crocodile hunter. There's that bullet time on top of it all, and Hope is the one that picks it up in the end.
Again, this was just NIP trying to push down their wave in the mid lane, and they get instantly flanked and punished. Talking about that's not a flank.
Oh my god. Speak of oppression. I'm going to give NIP a chance to speak here. That'll be an inhib down. They might just crash this one into a win, and Rookie's going to have to burn the flash out of that one. That'll be an inhib and pulled back by anyone's Legend. Dragon up in 10 seconds. It's back to a soul fight.
20 seconds for Photic to come back up as well. NIP need to sprint and clear out that mid lane wave. Their only way into this river is through that brush to the right, but Kael is going to be holding that with his body. That dragon is long gone.
It absolutely is. There's no hope, and that will be a big Chemtech Dragon Soul for anyone's Legend. Get a little bit more strength in their fights, but it's also just a continued domination. Almost 8,000 gold in the lead for Anyone's Legend. It's been a holistic effort now that we're getting close to 3-4 items for everybody.
And again, here's where questions have to be asked for NIP. If you look through all of the gold leads on the map, this is a 9,000 almost gold lead for AL. Rookie's only 200 gold down. And again, here's the question. If Rookie doesn't dominate mid, what do you have?
Oh no, I think we lost Trouble. The robots have taken her. Give her back, robots. It's not fair. But I do agree with the point she was making in terms of Rookie has consistently been so good over this last bit. Even on his time on top esports, it just always feels like there's falterings around him. And I think the biggest question has been, can NIP find consistency around this big player in the mid lane? I think that has still been unanswered to this point so far. Now, I do think that Anyone's Legend, unfortunately I've been informed I am solo for the moment, but Anyone's Legend are just going to kind of force tempo here. They're going to just try to pull this Baron down. They do it so quickly with Croco. He just does so much burn damage. It looks like Aki wants to step up, but I think the Baron is already going to be gone pretty quickly here. They're going to try to catch Kael, as they have Shanji over on the other side. Big bullet time. They've been baited. That's the Shanji slicing Maelstrom. Oh, he's gone. That's just the gold difference right there. You did get the pick on the back end, though. Now Photic going to be flashed onto. Anyone's Legend really want him, and he will just go down to Shanks in the end. NIP will try to clear this mid wave as best they possibly can, but Anyone's Legend come away on top of it again. Now 10,000 gold in the lead, as we see the siege continue on this top side by Anyone's Legend. They will just take down more turrets. As, the answer is here by NIP. I think if Anyone's Legend overextend, they might be in a lot of trouble. Kael going in, though. Kael getting low. They still have enough damage. Hope is ridiculous right now. 6-0-3, unkilled on the Misfortune. And what a way to start off this series from Anyone's Legend. Dominant from start to finish. And it wasn't even about draft. It was a lot about execution on the table. They are going to move into the last turrets here of NIP in this first game. A best of 3. That means so much for NIP to get some revenge on the team that's beaten them twice already this split. And AL would go up 1-0 to start off this series. Now, the way that this series was going to pan out was a lot going to be decided by this first game in terms of draft, in terms of style selection, especially to see if NIP were going to be able to actually use some of their drafting styles we've seen them use so strongly. But unfortunately, this time around, not able to get the kind of team fighting aspect to the point of promise. And it really was just about Anyone's Legend finding all of the early game advantages and snowballing it so strongly. We are going to step away for a short little break, and we'll be back for game 2 of this series.